Hey, this is Paul Evans, CEO of Nicheology and founder of the Profit Academy. And in this video, we're going to talk about affiliate marketing pulsing, getting really the heartbeat, the rhythm, the pulse of the market as you make affiliate marketing sales. Now, you've probably heard a lot about pre-selling, and usually this is a preview and a setup for a product. And pre-selling is good. It's actually useful. It's not, to me, the most powerful when it comes to making a lot of sales at once and being able to influence your market. Because one of the things that I really believe in is that we've got to be able to generate interest and not simply hope that people come already interested. Because while there are people who are interested, who are out there searching for a particular solution, it's a little bit easier to have a list in which you bring up a topic, create or generate interest for that topic, and then for those who are really interested in taking it to the next step, you have an offer or promotion available that is going to allow that to be a solution. And of course, the great thing about affiliate marketing is that you did not have to create the product. It's somebody else's product that's already there that you already believe in, and you build your sell around that product. But you're doing it with content, you're doing it with training, and you're doing it in a way that educates the individual and allows them to determine if they want to go to this next level. And that's what I really love about pulsing especially. Whereas with pre-selling, it's usually a preview and a setup for a product. Often, there's not a lot of great content. It's more of a video landing page. If you've seen a lot of this, a video landing page where they are mentioning attributes about the product. For example, you may see a script or hear a script, something along the lines of, hey, I just heard about a new whiz bang. At first, I was skeptical too, just like you, but this whiz bang is for reals. In fact, it's got 4 bangs that goes with the whiz that make this the most powerful whiz bang ever. And so it's more of using the individual's personality to do nothing more than sell the product. Again, it's not completely ineffective. It works fairly well, but it doesn't work well on people who have generated a list of followers who listen to them and who are used to them providing valuable content. So pre-selling doesn't work as well in that. In that case, pulsing works really well. You're creating a heartbeat for the topic, interest for the topic. You must generate the interest for the topic. So the idea, the concept, subject that you're bringing up may not have even been on the mind of the people. So let's say that you're in diet and exercise. We're actually in the middle of summer now, but let's say that it's March and you know that you've got a 12-week program for March, April, and May that is really going to allow them to hit summer full throttle, lean, looking great, right? You also know that by the end of February, most of the market has stopped their New Year's resolutions. So you're kind of in this gap, and they're not really thinking about summer just yet, and they're still grieving slightly that they have gotten rid of all of their goals. So it's really the perfect time to re-engage them, to generate interest for the topic. And so you begin talking about how many of the New Year's resolutions have gone to the wayside and why they've gone to the wayside. You also mentioned that you're in a great gap period right now, that March tends to be the month that people get out of shape as much as they do around Thanksgiving and as much as they do around Christmas. So you begin to share the fact, and from owning a gym, I'm sharing this from a factual status, not just generating some sort of crazy idea, but that March is a very dangerous month for a lot of schools. There's spring break. There's a lot of extra eating because the schedule changes. And so you begin to allow people to see, maybe for the first time, how dangerous March is to health and fitness. So you're generating interest. It's something they're generally not thinking about in March. And so you begin to engage them. And you begin to plant the idea and the seed that summer's just right around the corner. In fact, once spring break's over, it's just a handful of weeks before school's out, before summer's here, before vacations are planned, and before you realize, wow, okay, I should have done something. And so you begin a training process of what they can do over the next 12 weeks to really get in shape. And it's all helpful content. It's all things that gets their mind thinking about the topic so that when you actually make the offer, you're able to come alongside to where their mind and their attention is already present. That's a lot different than sending out a base email that says, hey guys, I just found this brand new product about losing weight before summer gets here. It's really cool. I think you ought to check it out. So you can see the huge difference in creating a pulse for the topic than simply introducing it cold. So I did this a few weeks ago with Mike Reynolds' course on list and traffic building. And the way that this happened and the way that it worked out really so well for Mike, as you guys know, I forfeited commission on that to be able to get you guys a great deal. But the first thing that I did was that I shared results. And anytime that you can share what's working for you, it's really important because people want to know that you're using whatever it is that you're selling. And it's not just that you're using it, but that you are actually getting results from it, something that's measurable. And so I mentioned that one of my new lists had grown over 1,600 that month, another over 10,000 since the beginning of the year. And then I mentioned Method 8. Before Method 8, I had an average of 34 visits. And after Method 8, I had 706 visits. So you can see the shift there of actual provable results, that they see that I'm not just selling something that I don't have any experience with. And so that's an incredibly important aspect of affiliate marketing pulsing, of really generating interest and generating that heartbeat. Secondly is to reveal. Reveal something in the course. And the reveal does not mean that you show exactly how it was done. But the reveal, part of that is the results. And part of it could be some of the wording that you're using. Like the title of this post is Method 8. And then down here it says, using just Method 8 in the course, the site went from averaging 30 plus hits a day to, there you go, 708. So what's Method 8? Well, we don't know. I've revealed the method name. I've revealed that it's part of this program. I've revealed exactly which part of the program I used to get the results. I'm just not sharing how that was done. So it's useful information, and as my buddy Jimmy D. Brown teaches, it's useful but incomplete. It's good information that allows people to see a result and see that it's possible, but they don't have access to the actual step-by-step yet. Now, another thing that I could have done here is I could have offered several viable ways to increase traffic, but none of those would have been Method 8, and only in the course itself do people get Method 8. Number 3 is to review. I didn't do this to a heavy extent. This was pretty light. I talked about really loving the course, a lot of what I got out of it, and that it had several components that I had not seen taught elsewhere, at least not in a large degree. There's definitely teaching out there about ad swaps and etc., but I didn't see a lot of my people asking questions about that, and so I knew it was something that they're not spending a lot of time on, so that would be fresh and that would be new. So the review was more of what was in the course. I could have taken it even deeper and said, okay, I'm going through all 8 modules for traffic. I'm going to tell you what I believe is best about each one and where I think it could really need some work. And that would be an even more accurate review. But overall, saying that you love the course and here's why and giving some specifics of it is a great review method. And then, of course, actually recommending it. Now, I actually came out and said that people needed to get the course. That's different than allowing a static review in which people simply come in and decide whether or not they want to buy based on the review. I'm actually on the line, reputation-wise, putting a little bit of energy behind it, saying, I really think you ought to get this. And I don't always do that. I'm a lot more of an options guy because I really feel like people need to make up their own mind. They don't need to make up their mind because somebody like myself or like you tells them you really need to get this. It's rare that I use this 4th step because if it's my idea, they may make the purchase using me as the catalyst for their position and their permission. instead of really thinking it through and saying, okay, I'm going to buy this, I'm responsible for this, I'm going to do this. Instead of so-and-so told me I need to do this, so I'm going to get it. But because it was not a personal decision as much, there's not as much investment psychologically and even physically to carry out the process. But when you make the decision on your own, then there's much more responsibility and there's much more likelihood of carrying out the process. Now, do you sell as many that way? You don't, because most people do not want to make up their minds. They want somebody else to make up their minds for them so they'll have somebody to blame if it doesn't work out. You know what I'm saying? So I tend to be a little bit more of an options type of person. Now notice, total integrity, nothing sneaky, full authenticity, nothing unethical. The whole process of selling this and any product that I sell is really totally upfront. There's nothing that I'm doing that is behind the scenes sneaky. There's nothing that I'm doing in hopes that people buy, even though I really know it's not a great product. Instead, everything is pretty much out in the open and upfront. And so that's what I love about marketing pulsing as well, because it's about being authentic. It's about being real. It's not about setting people up for the sale. It's more about putting them in a position to make a decision about purchasing or not. See, that's totally different than manipulating the scenario to create a non-authentic emotional response or an impulse response that people really wouldn't have made this decision if they hadn't been talked into it. What I want to do is I don't want to talk people into a decision. I want to teach people into a decision. And you can see that there's a big difference in those two. In fact, you might want to write that down. Don't talk people into a decision. Teach them into a decision to be totally ethical. So with an ebook, you would basically share the results of what you got from this ebook. The more personal, the better. That's the easiest way that I've found to sell ebooks. If you're selling a membership site, you not only want the results, but you also want to take them on a tour. Allow them to go behind the scenes and see exactly what is in the membership. One of my buddies promoted Nicheology just a few weeks ago and knocked it out because he did a tour. Melissa Ingold, we got several folks here that are part of her group, and she's an awesome, awesome lady. And she did a tour to sell in Nicheology. It's very effective. Number 3 is software. And this is where you will actually do a demonstration. Here's how the software works. You know, if I was selling something like, what is that, Samurai Marketing? I can't remember the software that I actually use, but that whatever the Samurai keyword tool is, I use that, and I could actually show you how to do keyword research, how to find older domain names, how to look at your competition, their number of backlinks, all of these things to determine how you would position yourself in the market. Okay, so that would be a demonstration. What's cool about software is that the demonstration can go on all day long and nobody gets really any use from it until they buy it. So it's complete show and tell, but nobody actually gets to interact with it. And then with training, you could do all 3. You can show the results, you could do a tour of the site, which is what I really should have done with Mike's training. I could have taken people inside the site and said, all right, here's the way it's laid out, here's how you're going to be engaged, here's how you get all the information. And even demonstrate some of the things that are within the site. Here's exactly how to use it, here's a neat extra tool that he's got, etc. So with training, you may do all 3. With ebooks, it's primarily results, memberships, results, and tours. Software is results, tour, and demonstration. And then training would be all 3 as well, as is with the software. So here's a final example as we close out. So here's Jeff Walker's product launch formula. Say that I was selling this. You know, some of the things that I would think about to create the pulse, to create the interest, is that I would first of all show an image like this to prove that I've actually purchased it. There's my name, there are all the modules, etc., so that I'm actually inside of the site. I would certainly share some results-based evidence as well, but I think the proof of purchase is very important. Here I am inside the site, and I would tell people I actually bought this. I did not get this as a gift from Jeff Walker. Secondly, see but don't touch. Everybody can look inside of it, but they're not actually able to do anything with it. 3 is value volume. I would begin to share exactly how much people are able to receive from this, what all they're going to gain from this, and show each one of these modules. Look at this. This highlighted is just module 4. So I would give value, volume, and then networking, net worth. In this case, you've got a lot of other people that you would meet. Obviously, I've not been very active. I've only got 9 followers, but I could get in there, build some real relationships, and you can see how I would be able to sell that. All right, so there's the overall concept of affiliate marketing pulsing. This really the first step is understanding how you're going to sell. Before you ever choose an affiliate product, before you ever get out there and sell, understand the process. You can certainly pre-sell, but I've found that pulsing is a lot more effective. As always, Paul Evans from Nicheology.com. Success is not an accident. Be blessed.